What is up, my friends? Hope you are having an amazing week. We're getting close to the weekend, right? It's almost there. We've almost made it. So looking forward to that, especially with the weather getting much better here in the South US. We've been dealing with a lot of humidity and heat, but things are starting to cool off a little bit, so that's good. I wanted to start with this 1 week chart of Bitcoin. And I've actually showed you this before, how this 200-day simple moving average crossing with the peak of the previous cycle can give us an idea of where the next peak is. So I'm going to keep updating this for you, and hopefully we can get out, pretty close to the top. But notice how as this 200-day simple moving average moved up, and the previous top was right here, it found that next top. So that's what you're looking at there, where these things are crossing. And then your money flows down here, where when you have positive money flow and it's in the green, you're in the market, everything's good. Of course, when things start slowing down, you probably need to think about taking profits. But same thing happened here: green money flow, green money flow. So everything looks fine still. We're not in the red money flow. That's the main thing. And let me jump down here to 2-day and show you how this kind of, I need to get rid of that simple moving average because that doesn't matter on this chart. But if we open up Engineering Robo AI, which this has a 7-day free trial in my link below, in my description below for the link, this will show you, AI buy, sell signals. There's a lot of different things that you can use with this. It has a 7-day free trial. Just try it out, see if you like it. This currently is showing that our upper band is about 238K. I have 197K right there. That's where I think it will reach. Maybe it can wick up above that area, but if you look at this historically, how well Engineering Robo has done at finding the top, it's done very good. Of course, it doesn't go back too far. Here's this was back in 2014. Engineering Robo didn't exist until I think 2020 or 2019, something like that. But as you get into this red area, that's the top. Here it is again. It barely got into it here. And then this was another top that, created a lower high there, but it got close to the red line. So as this thing gets closer to the red line, consider taking profits. I'll try to keep updating this for you, but you can see it found the bottom perfectly. So that's good. And don't worry about that money flow below either. I'm not really looking at that on this chart, but you can see how this really worked out to be a great place to buy each time, even way back here in 2015. All right, let me see. Yeah, I guess I could show you currently what it looks like on the daily if I show you the AI buy sell signals here, just so you can see what it looks like. There's also a green cloud that it will show you. Oh yeah, there's my buy signal right there. So it'll change up everything here in just a second. Okay, there we go. So here's the green cloud and the red cloud. So ever since around, at least on the daily chart, ever since way back here on April 30th, we've had a green cloud. Buy signal came in sooner than that. And currently we are under a sell signal as of August 21st. But the candles are starting to turn gray, which means it could flip to a buy signal soon. So we're right here at support. Things look pretty good. Just waiting on that next uptrend to happen. And I think gold is pulling a lot of the liquidity out of the risk market. People are using that as a flight to safety, but gold's going to hit a top pretty soon here, I would imagine, around 4K. And when that happens, we should see some relief and should see things start to move up in October at some point. All right. What else do I want to show you? Oh, I did want to mention that Nansen has gone to a single plan now for the Pro plan. It's $49 a month if you pay for yearly, or it's $69 a month if you pay for monthly. It's a lot more accessible to everybody now. So if it was too much money for you before, now you can get it even cheaper. And I think you may still get a 10% discount if you use my link below. I'm not sure. What else did I want to show you? Before we get into Nansen, let me show you some of the things that I've been posting on our Discord. Yes, I do have a Discord. The link is in the description below for that as well. So, if you are somebody that likes smart money, you're somebody that likes AI buy, sell signals, automated alerts. We have a lot of automated alert channels that, show whale accumulation, smart money accumulation. We even have curated tokens on a spreadsheet and their targets, and I have it set to alert us when those targets are nearing for those tokens. So there's a lot of different things. We do curated degen plays as well. We kind of cover it all. So if you're interested in that, join our Discord. Here I have, what is this, Eigen. I posted about Eigen, that it's getting some smart money activity. There were some wins that we had lately, a 5x on Astrobot. What else? We've got a Sol ETH volume alert channel that had a big win as well. What else did I talk about? Yeah, we've even got members that are calling plays like Stable, STBL. Yeah, he called it early for us right here on 9/17. And I think it's done about a 3x now. Yeah, so not bad. And I teach you things. There's educational things that I teach on here as well that I don't post to YouTube sometimes or to Twitter. So anyway, check that out if you want to join our Discord. And let's see here. I just want to go through. Oh yeah, the mobile app launched for Nansen today, as well as season 2. So if you do have Nansen or you want to get it, you can go to my Twitter, bike for sale, bike number 4 sale, like a boat sale. Download the app and you're ready to go. It does have the AI agent on the app. So a lot of people have been waiting to use that. Now you're going to have access to it. And it's really amazing. It gives you some nice detailed information. Let's just see if there's anything else to show. Oh yeah, we had another 10x win here with Oscar. Another 20x win with Block Swap. I think that's supposed to be Block Swap. And I'm posting, some useful things on here that for people that use Nansen, like how to eliminate false wash trading signals that may look like a smart money joining in on a play, but it's actually wash trading. And yeah, I posted here about the BTC versus gold chart. We're just waiting on that breakout there, which I'm actually curious to see what that looks like now. Oh, I didn't do that right. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, we're just waiting on that breakout still. I just did a trend line there, and there's something like that. It's not really ready yet, but see how this broke out back here? I know that's hard to see. See how this one broke out back here? Right there. So that's what we're waiting for gold to show some weakness. And something I'm wondering, let's see, April 22nd, if we go, I just wonder if there's a lag there at all. April 22nd, what happened with Bitcoin? Yeah, there wasn't really a lag at all. So Bitcoin pretty much took off the moment that gold started showing weakness on the BTC gold pair, checking it against gold like that. So that's good. I'm going to keep an eye on that chart for you. All right, let's see. We talked about that. Let's get into Nansen. Oh, I do want to mention one play. I don't know if it's actually going to do anything or not, but this one is, there's a lot of support for this one called Store. It's called Miami Store. And the contract address ends in capital DVE number 2 and pump if you're looking for the right one. But I had this trend line right here. It broke down, but now it's heading into some support here. So I took a small position. I don't know if anything's going to happen with it or not. I am seeing some bullish divergences here on the RSI and MACD while price is coming down. So if it's going to hold, it's got to hold here. And just hoping to make some money off something like this. But just remember, these are very risky. I don't think there's a whole lot of smart money in this one, but that's usually the reason that we call these curated plays if we start to see smart money. SOLPUMP is another one that I mentioned to the group. I'm letting you know about these in case you want to jump into them, but just remember they're very risky. We've got smart money that's joining in here. 4K is not a whole lot of money. Fresh wallets are buying a little bit as well. But this one did a, what did it do? I don't know, it did like a 3x and now it's consolidating sideways. There's a nice volume candle there. So we did have a smart money wallet that's very profitable. They made 390K over the last 90 days that bought in here over the last 24 hours. So that's why I alerted it to the group. It could do something. So called SOLPUMP, and the address ends in capital JEX, if you're looking for that one. yeah, so getting into Nansen, stable coins are still flowing onto the exchanges. That's good. We want to see that. That means people are still buying, even during the weakness of the market. So, people are still risk on. And then if we look at, let's see, well, maybe we'll look at the 24-hour. Of course, this is the perps view. When I say perps, I mean like people that go on there and leverage trade. Try to see if there's any buy pressure here or less 24 hours. Or we can look at longs, see which one's getting the most long. Yeah, so it's the ones we would expect it to be, right? Bitcoin, Solana, ETH, Hype, Pump. Pump had a big dip, and I actually posted that one on. You know what? Let's go back because I want to show you this. A lot of times it takes these things a while to play out. I'm trying to teach people how to leverage trade, although it's extremely risky. It's one of the most risky things you can do. But I want you to understand how to make money on shorting the market as well, because after we make this money on the pump, assuming it's going to happen, and I feel that it will, you can also make money on the way down, when the bear market comes. So this was September 17th, I believe. Yeah, so September 17th, I posted that I was starting to see bearish signals, and I use Engineering Robo to help me find these things as well. But I noticed that, it could lose support soon after a 3x move. And a 3x move sometimes isn't enough. Sometimes you got to wait longer before it's ready for a dip. So I was taking a chance there, and it actually did pump a little bit more after I posted that. So here it is, pump USDT. I think it was around this area maybe was the support. I know that was close anyhow. So what happened was I saw it. I was actually looking at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, this is pretty close to the area, but I thought that it was ready to break down right here, and it pumped one more time on me. So I think I closed the position and I re-entered. Oh, that's what it was. I had more conviction. So instead of closing my position, and this was very risky, instead of closing my position, I actually did like a market maker. And as it moved up, I think I sold, I short sold more here, short sold more there, and then eventually it broke down. But it's good to step out, and don't be zoomed in on the 5-minute chart all the time. Step up to the 1-hour chart and see what it looks like there. But it fell down, it retested this area, which is probably more like that. Retested that area with a bear flag, and then it dumped pretty far. So came all the way down about 30%. If you're using 10x margin or something, that's 300% gain you made on that if you can wait long enough on something like this. But Engineering Robo can tell you when to short sell. It can tell you when to buy. It's really good like that. Keeps you level headed to where you're not panicking every pump and dip. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that play did work out. But sometimes, yeah, there it is right there. I actually posted about it right there. Rule of thumb: if support is lost, expect a retrace. Retest plus rejection of support equals confirmation. So it fell below, it retested, and kept falling. So if this would have closed above that line, then it could have pumped again. But we had our confirmation right there because it rejected. Yeah, so I'm trying to teach y'all some things. I teach more, even on our Discord, I teach more than that. But hopefully that makes sense to you. So let's see. Yeah, so pump could start seeing some people buying back in here, although it'll probably need some consolidation first. So here's some of your leaders right there: AVAX, Link, BNB, XRP, Aster has been doing real well, Doge, ENA. That's on smart money. And then on, I don't know if I want to show perps on retail. Yeah, we won't worry about that. So let's look at spot. So spot is where you're just buying with your own money. You're not leverage trading. You're not using somebody else's money. KTA, I noticed this morning, is starting to see some net flows. In fact, it's #1 on net flows in the last 6 hours. So let me bring that up. I already had it up here. And I'm going to show you some more plays that could be interesting here soon. Let's see. So this is our smart money view last 7 days. Let's look at 24 hours on KTA. So there we go right there. A public figure is buying, I think. I'm just gonna sort it down here. So they're called Brown, I guess, on Twitter. We're gonna look at their account if it'll show it. That's one cool thing about Nansen is if you bring up wallet profiler for token, yeah, there it is right there. Brown Cap is his name or her name. Of course, they transferred the tokens in. Sorry, let me refresh that. Sometimes it does this on me when I try to, oh, there it goes. All right. So they're transferring tokens in and out. You know, you can research this just to make sure that they're actually buying. Looks like they transferred it in from another wallet. I had to refresh that page again. So what I would do in this case is, okay, so they transferred here to here. I want to see if this, I mean, they were buying for real down here. This was definitely a buy 22 days ago. Put it on the daily. Yeah, you can see the buys right there. Where did it show up? I saw it just a second ago. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is right there. So they bought this dip right here, and you can see that because they bought it from the Uniswap router. But if we look at this, I just want to see, I'm going to open up wallet profiler for token again. And I want to see if this wallet that they transferred it in from has actually been buying. So this is how you do your due diligence, you know. It doesn't look like they've been doing a lot of transferring in and out. So I'm not sure. This may be more like wash trading or making it look like it was a buy. But this is KTA on base. I'm not seeing a real buy here on this wallet. So I don't know that I would consider this one a real buy. But we can still look at it and, you know, from a chart perspective and just see what it's doing. You know, it may need more consolidation here, but we're going to see. Look at the daily chart. I don't think that's the full chart. KTA, let's look at like an ether. Yeah, there we go. Here's the full history of the chart. And you had this huge pump. Well, I say it was huge. We actually called this one early. It was a 10x. Oh, this was a 15x. So we must have called it in here somewhere on the breakout. But you know, one of our members did make like 8x, 10x on it. And I also posted it on Twitter. So, you know, hopefully people are making money on these things when I call them. Just trying to see what else it's doing currently on Engineering Robo. So this is definitely an area of support that's important for KTA. If I was going to look at a fib level, yeah, that 382, that 58 cent level is very important. It needs to hold that. If it dips below it, 42 cents is your next target, and then about 30 cents if it dips below that. This would be probably the last area that I would expect it to dip to. It could just hold this 382 at 58 cents area. It's more of a zone. It's not an exact number. But, you know, it could hold this level because it's been consolidating for many months now, and then it'll be ready to go again. But just remember, if you have a big pump on something, usually it needs some kind of consolidation before the next pump. Just remember that. What am I looking at? Okay, so let's jump over to, yeah, so KTA is really the only one that's seeing much accumulation in the last 6 hours. Here's some more. Let me take this off because we want to look at all caps. Yeah, so here's kind of your view over 3 different chains. This is Ethereum, Solana base. In fact, I think I'm just going to take Solana off for now because this will give us a better view. PENDLE is seeing a lot of transactions there. Do I have this sorted right? We want net flows. We want to see, yeah, that is sorted right. So the liquidity pool of PENDLE seems to be getting a lot of activity, which could indicate, you know, that price is getting ready to move on it. Of course, we need Bitcoin to, you know, give it the ability to move. You know, we can't have a weak market. But here's what PENDLE looks like. You know, this is a support area right there. But it's also hitting, you know, it hit a resistance area as well. So, you know, seeing this where it's hit this resistance area multiple times, you could just see something like this out of PENDLE where, you know, it's ready to break out by, you know, October, November. And I think we'll see that with a lot of tokens. where they're gonna, maybe some are breaking out down here near support, or some are breaking out, to all-time highs, or price discovery. Let's see, so we got things like REI. Is this right? Yeah, this is spot. Okay. Toshi, TIBBIR. I don't know why the logos aren't showing up on some of these, but they usually do. This one, it should be showing up like this on link in that one. Anyway, so that's, yeah, Hemi is another one we called in the group. And another one that actually pumped really hard for us that not many people know about. In fact, I doubt many know about it at all, is CCD. And the only reason I'm mentioning it is because it already made the pump. Otherwise I wouldn't mention it, because our group gets the benefit of knowing about tokens like this before they pump. So we were in this one way down here on this 4x pump, maybe 5x even. And like I said, hardly anybody knows about this project. It probably will have some kind of consolidation before another move, but we have targets up here for these things that's set up so that our group knows when the next profit taking area is. And even though I have one marked here, some people may have taken profits here and some may not have, but this is more just for my own information. The real target is further up for this one. But yeah, I think this one, it needs some time off first, some consolidation time. But our members are making money even when the market's weak, is the point that I wanted to make. What's this one doing? Okay, it's just kind of consolidating still. One other thing I wanted to mention before I get into more Nansen, and I'm going to teach you more things here, the way that I view the market every day, to look and see what tokens are ready to move and which ones aren't. So if you join Nansen, or if you're already in it, these are some of the partners that are here for season 2 that you can use your referral points on. So if you stake, or if you get, your friends join under your link or something like that, or even when you subscribe or do onboarding type events, you get points. So like I've got 180K-ish NXP is what they call it, Nansen points. And you can get exclusive access to VIP program for Bybit, get discounts on Coinly. There's another tax one here called Awaken Tax, EtherFi. You get certain things here, Cast. So there's probably things you already use here. You can even get a discount on your subscription, or share Nansen with a teammate with a promo code. So there's a lot of different things that you can get here. And I don't know, there's another page even. Things for Ledger, Money, which Money is a very good social app to use. Same way, it's kind of like Smart Money Socials. So it's the same thing as Nansen, it just uses like Twitter. But yeah, anyway, there's a lot of different things that you can use your points on to get discounts and perks that you wouldn't normally have access to. So, check this out if you want to, earn NXP, which you do if you subscribe. And you'll also get access to the new Discord, which they do calls in there sometimes as well for tokens. So things are changing at Nansen. They're making it more available to people. I do want to mention Stable, STBL. Like I said, we called that one early in our group. It looks like a descending wedge here. So if it can hold this level about 40 cents, I think it'll pump out of that. And this one already did like a 3 to 4x, something like that. No, it did a 5x. So sometimes when you get 5x, 10x, it needs, to cool down a bit. So I really don't know. You got descending volume here as well. So volume needs to come back in first. But usually these are pretty powerful if it can break out of this. But it has to hold that 40 cents area, or it's coming back down to here around 30 cents. So those are your levels to watch for Stable. As far as Smart Money goes, yeah, it looks like top P&L traders are taking profits, public figures taking profits, so it could come down some more here. What is this? Kita we talked about. Oh, Daydreams. This one showed up in our alerts on the Discord this morning, and I alerted it to not only people in Moni Discord, I also alerted it to our Discord. I didn't post it on Twitter just yet, but this one could have a move. I mean, it's hard to predict these things. I mean, right now we're looking at some action that's telling you that things aren't good. It's almost 2 times, the volume's almost down 2 times the normal rate. Holders are way down. But you know, if this thing could hold above like 0035, I mean, it could still come down to like 0029 or something, or even lower. But if this thing can start to get some smart money jump into here, which there's none currently, there's no fresh wallet money coming in either. So you really have to wait until you start to see some activity on these first, at least volume starting to pick up. But I'm just saying that the pattern setup, and one of our curated wallets actually bought this one, but the pattern setup looks pretty good. So, you know, hopefully it does something for people. I'm not in this one currently, but it's one you could watch out for. It's called Daydreams on base. All right. Let's see, what else do we want to look at? Oh, let's look at Mindshare. So you can click on tokens here, go to trending on Nansen, and we're going to see, let's see over the last 24 hours what people are buying or what people are most interested in. So we've got Aster, you know, it's dominating. Actually, Aster and STBL are two that we talked about in our group, and Asterbot, you know, they all went up, and AVNT. So you can see here, Kind I didn't mention, but it did a 10x in our group as well. But you can see here how even just Mindshare can help you find tokens that are ready to move. You know, here's TIBBIR, you know, huge Mindshare. It's always near the top, it seems like. In fact, let me look at that chart for you. I'm curious, I haven't looked at it in about a week or more. Yeah, so TIBBIR is still pushing up here against resistance, but remember this one's made about a 27 to 30x, something like that. So, you know, it's getting into those levels, and you got a rejection candle right there actually, but it's getting into these levels here where it's just barely pushing above the all-time high, grabbing some liquidity, and, you know, maybe it's going to come back down a little bit first. So if you're not in this one, it's, I mean, this thing could do 100x, I don't know, but I'm just saying that, you know, there are dangers of getting in near the top and then it comes down. You know, maybe this thing comes all the way back down to 7 cents and you can get a better price. Let me see what the indicators are showing us. Oh, there it goes, okay. Sometimes you can see, yeah, there's a lower high right there. Price was kind of pushing up. What is the weekly? Yeah, you're getting some descending momentum there. You got a double top there. So if this thing on the 3-day, you know, comes up here and rolls over, then it's probably going to need some time to rest. Yeah, there's a lower high right there off this indicator. I wonder what the smart money flow looks like. It's kind of descending as well, but it's still good. I mean, anytime you're over 50 RSI, you're bullish. So on the 2-day, it looks fine. Daily, it looks fine. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say what's going to happen here, but yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, it could over the next couple of weeks consolidate some before another move. Okay, where were we on that? Oh yeah, Mindshare. Yeah, SFUND went way down. This is kind of interesting because usually when something has a big dump, what is SFUND doing now? Yes. Oh, okay. So yeah, this ended up being FUD, it looks like to me. A lot of people were posting about this, that SFUND dropped like 50% in one day. And yeah, it was a sell signal, but this thing's already pushed all the way back up almost. So somebody made a really good buy down here. But sometimes buying the FUD can make you a lot of money. I just want to point that out. Yeah, we got KTA, Aster, XPL, AVNT, SFUND, Kind. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna get a phone call. Okay, sorry about that. I'll just cut that out if I can remember to. Let's see here. Yeah, ONDO I think is another one to consider, which It is one of our spreadsheet plays, by the way. Let me see if I can bring that one up here. So ONDO, I'm just curious what it's doing because it hasn't made much of a move. And I think that it will. Oh, that's right. Didn't it make a move off? Okay, let's see. I'm curious what this move was off the bottom. Okay, yeah, 10x consolidation. Hasn't made a move since the start of 2025, or it hasn't had a top since 2025. So this looks like a lot like SEI tokens like that are they kind of had a breakout above a support level here, and now they're just retesting that level, and they're going to be ready to move up again to the next level after that. So yeah, I like the way ONDO looks here too. So you can see how Mindshare helps you. You can also look at rank change and see what, here's a brand new one called Deep. Oh, wow. This one's up 600x. This one I actually found early, but it looked like it was dead. I'm really curious about this one because it signaled in my, I have those 24/7 alerts in the Discord that I set up. I'm really curious about this. Wow, I should have entered that one. So it had one pump, and then it had another volume spike right there. And what I saw was it had this huge move, and then it was just going sideways, and it was just down. And yeah, wow, that's what was that move from here? Oh, okay, that's just a 2x from there. So the big move that it made is here. But who knows? I mean, it could keep running. But it just goes to show you, sometimes these things just go sideways. I don't really think that's the same pattern. Well, yeah, see this right here? See this little like head and shoulders looking thing? Tell me, let's find this chart again. Doesn't that look a lot like that on Daydreams? So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's possible. Frag, Morpho, SFUND, Fluid, BMT, Burn, Eigen, WLFI is still showing up there. I think WLFI will pump at some point. It's just, it's taken a while to do anything. All right, let me show you a couple other things and then we'll try to wrap this up. I was going to make this a shorter one, but I just want to keep teaching you things, how I use it. That's the main goal here, and hopefully show you some plays that'll move. Maybe they'll move at some point. Here's somebody buying Eigen. Actually, you can look and see who the best smart money traders are over the last 30 days or whatever time frame you want to look at. And this is unrealized profits, so this means they haven't sold yet. Yeah, so Eigen could be one that's ready to move. It looks a lot like SEI as well. And then you can also, let's see, if we go to top tokens here, you can look at what smart money's trading over the last 24 hours. So Solana, Rect, CRV, Hemi. So, it's good to see this because we got a member in the group that's wanting to see Hemi go up. They got in early on that one. And then you can see what they're holding as well, like their biggest holdings. I think I have this set to sectors. So yeah, this is just AI. So you can do all sectors if you want as well, or just switch to different sectors if you want as well. So ONDO is the largest holding by smart money. So maybe that's what you want to see. You want to see who has the most smart money holders, or at least the largest smart money balance. But just understand that when it comes time to sell at the very top of the market, you need to also be watching if people are selling, because that will give you, and I'll show you that here. I just want to make a point of that. But there's WorldCoin, BGB, which I told you about early before it moved. Bio, I told you about that one early before it moved on Twitter and in our videos. But if we look back maybe 30 days on this one, notice how price was coming up. That's the gray line. And at the same time, just shortly after that, when this lower high was put in, you had smart money starting to sell. So when you see this yellow line coming down, when you got the smart money tab selected, that means that they're sending tokens to the exchange to sell them. And so that happened really close to where this lower high happened, and really close to where the peak happened at $1.08. And so this would have told you, okay, it looks like, maybe it would have taken till about here till you would have realized it, but supply owned went down. Well, it actually doesn't show that it went down much. But anyway, you saw that some smart money was selling right here. public figures were doing it as well. They've actually sold a lot more. Yeah, this was a big, like 600, well, 100% increase anyway. They've been selling this dip. So you can see who's been selling, you can see where they're selling. It'll give you indications of, maybe you want to take some profits because they are. Because if smart money and whales start to sell near, what looks like a peak, then maybe, 1 to 2 days after that, you might just start to see price decelerate and start to drop. All right, what else? Oh yeah, here we are. Yeah, so these are some other things that you can use that I don't really show very often. And there is a live trade for DEX trades. Like you can see it's live right there once it loads. And you can sort by, which smart money, maybe you want to turn off funds. Maybe you want to keep all these on. And you want to see, who's buying what, basically. It'll even show you brand new tokens that show up. You can sort by token age. So maybe you just want to look at tokens that are very brand new, 0 to 7 days. Yeah, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe 0 to 30. That's odd. Usually there's a lot more results. Maybe I got a filter going here that I didn't realize. Of course, this is just smart money. It's no retail activity, but you can see the value that they bought, what they used to buy it with over here. So here's somebody selling bio for USDC. So over here is where they bought it. Here's some people buying Link, CRV. So this is all in real time, what they're buying. Not much volatility, not much volume, sorry, right now with this one. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show you for the day. Things look good. We're just waiting on the market to get moving. Another thing you can do is switch between, and just to kind of wrap it up here, you can switch from micro caps to small caps over the last 24 hours, mid caps. You can change sectors. There's a lot of different things you can do there. Here's Toshi. There's a couple of different ones that have some net flows coming in today. Okay, well, I hope that was useful to you. Post in the comments below. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Join our Discord if you want. Subscribe to Nansen if you enjoy doing research like this. And we're going to do another one of these next week. Hope you all have a good weekend. Take care.